Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 8, Text number 72. Trairatrante tiratrante kapitha badarshanaha atmavritti anusarena asamninye archayan harim. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For the first month, Dhruva Maharaj ate only fruits and berries on every third day, only to keep his body and soul together. And in this way, he progressed in his worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. Kapita is a flower which is known in Indian vernacular as Kayetha. We do not find an English equivalent for the name of this flower, but its fruit is generally not accepted by human beings. It is eaten by monkeys in the forest. Dhruva Maharaj, however, accepted such fruits, not for his luxurious feasting, but to keep his body and soul together. The body needs food, but a devotee should not accept foodstuffs to satisfy the tongue in sense gratification. It is recommended in Bhagavad Gita that one should accept as much food as necessary to keep the body fit, but one should not eat for luxury. Dhruva Maharaj is an acharya, and by undergoing severe austerities and penances, he teaches us how one should execute devotional service. We must carefully know the process of Dhruva Maharaj's service. How severely he passed his days will be shown in later verses. We should always remember that to become a bona fide devotee of God, of the Lord, is not an easy task. But in this age, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, it has been made very easy. But if we do not follow even the liberal instructions of Lord Chaitanya, how can we expect to discharge our regular duties in devotional service? It is not possible in this age to follow Dhruva Maharaj in his austerity, but the principles must be followed. We should not disregard the regulative principles given by our spiritual master, for they make it easier for the conditioned soul. As far as our ISKCON movement is concerned, we simply ask that one observe the 4 prohibitive rules, chant 16 rounds, and instead of indulging in luxurious eating for the tongue, simply accept prasadam offered to the Lord. This does not mean that with our fasting, the Lord should also fast. The Lord should be given foodstuffs, which is as nice as possible. But we should not make it a point to satisfy our own tongues. As far as possible, we should accept simple foodstuffs, just to keep the body and soul together, to execute devotional service. It is our duty to remember always that in comparison to Dhruva Maharaj, we are insignificant. We cannot do anything like Dhruva Maharaj did for self-realization because we are absolutely incompetent to execute such service. But by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we have been given all concessions possible for the sage. So at least we should always remember that neglect of our prescribed duties in devotion service will not make us successful in our mission we have undertaken. It is our duty to follow in the footsteps of Dhruva Maharaj, for he was very determined. We should also be determined to finish our duties in executing devotion service in this life. We should not wait for another life to finish our job. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So Dhruva Maharaj began his meditation accompanied with a lot of austerities, extreme austerities, which is practically not possible for the living entities of the present age. What to speak of those present age? Even during the times of Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj's austerities was considered to be rare. That was definitely another yuga, but still that austerity that Dhruva Maharaj performed to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead is extremely rare. And therefore Prabhupada says that we cannot match, nobody in this Kali Yuga can match the capacity for austerity that Dhruva Maharaj took with the purpose of, for the sole purpose of having darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever reason that may be, that he wanted a boon from the Lord, that apart, his immediate desire was to have darshan of the Lord. So that great desire to see the Lord face to face itself is a great, and austerity is connected to that. A very powerful purifying process. Now, Prabhupada is explaining here that Dhruva Maharaj ate only, every third day. That means 2 days he was fasting. Third day, night, he has taken some fruits. And in this way, he's setting an example that one of the austerities in devotion service is to control the tongue and engage the tongue in chanting and hearing the holy names, and not to engage the tongue in tasting anything that is not prasadam. And even prasadam also to be taken in the right consciousness and not for the sake of gratifying one's senses. Then one may say that why we are providing nice feast in the ashram. You give us feast and you tell you don't taste. Prabhupada's time also there was big feasts. Yes, in the beginning, one can get purified. There are different stages. One can get purified by controlling his tongue to eat as much prasadam as possible, to avoid eating anything else. But that is not the highest standard. That is not the highest standard set by our Goswamis, nor what Prabhupada is setting here. The main thing is, the Lord may be offered a feast. So the first thing that needs to be controlled is quantity. The Lord, you may offer a lot of items to the Lord. Take everything little. So satisfying the tongue means a particular thing I like more. I want more of this. It is natural. But we have to learn how to control even prasadam eventually. Because the honoring of prasadam is largely it's a relationship with Krishna. Just like japa is a relationship with Krishna. This relishing of relationship with Krishna as exemplified in the meaning of the prayer that we chant before we honor prasadam. So that rasa of relationship, rasa of gratitude to the Lord, appreciating the kindness of the Lord in the material world also to give us, because nobody can live without food or tasty food. Unless you become very advanced by practice, your brain will always ask tasty food. Not food alone, tasty food. Few days, if you take only boiled vegetables, you will know that. All calories will be there, everything will be there. But no masala, your brain has no masala also. No motivation, no inspiration. Huh? And that to the kind of masala that you are used to. When foreign devotees come to India, they take prasadam, our masala, all those things, is not the same masala for their brain. Their brain, they have their own spices, they have their own everything. So they also, even though faithful they are taking, something is missing for their brain. So, of course, it's all conditioning. You come in a culture, you come in a South Indian culture. Every day, if you give only chapati, your brain may not, for few days. Afterwards, you get used to it. Or somebody who is in North India, every day rice, no chapati. We have faced all these problems here. Earlier, there used to be only rice in Bangalore temple. Then we introduced roti. Roti means you need to make so much. No, doesn't matter, I have to make. Roti is there now? Is there, no? Didn't stop, I think. It is there. Those who want can take. So, all these things, you see, we should understand the spirit behind all the wonderful things that Prabhupada has given. And there is a personal aspect to that. The institution may provide you very nice prasadam, but individually you have to have restriction. You have to, I have to take care of my spiritual life. I should not excessively eat. I should restrict my quantity. Prabhupada says in one purport that all diseases are coming due to two reasons: overeating and no cleanliness. Very interesting. No cleanliness and overeating. So this overeating also creates diseases because then you cannot digest. So food is a very important aspect, how to regulate that. Each person is different. You have to adjust those things, the quantity, all those things you have to adjust according to your requirement. As Prabhupada is saying here, that we need food, the body needs food. And you have to understand how much your body needs food, not how much your brain needs. That is the first step. How much my body needs. There is something called real hunger and something called psychological hunger. Whether you want or not, prasadam time, you want. You want. Whether body needs or not. So anyway, that is that apart. This is one of the reasons also we say that unless you are active in devotional service, according to that physical activity, according to that proportion only, you should also eat. So all these things, keeping in mind that just because it is prasadam, I have to serve prasadam, but I should not attack prasadam. You can serve prasadam with your tongue or you can attack prasadam with your tongue. Krishna is just like Krishna's name is Krishna, same way Krishna very mercifully comes as prasadam. So Prabhupada is very merciful that he has got one step ahead. You may not get so tasty prasadam in Gaudiya Math like in ISKCON. Because they want to remain a little austere in their ashram. Here Prabhupada is very merciful. He said, so much so that one devotee was telling, Prabhu, if prasadam is so nice here, only for prasadam I want to go back to Godhead fast. What will be the prasadam there? After a nice feast, he was telling, oh, that's prasadam, fabulous. Only for this reason I want to go back to Godhead. If here it is so nice, what will be that prasadam? Anyway, in order to create such desires, only prasadam is there. So it is the effect of prasadam. So we have to keep in mind, we have to take care of our own individual devotion service. Prasadam, how much quantity you eat, it is all connected to eating, sleeping, mating, defending. See, all these things we have to follow properly. This body is a vehicle which we have to drive back to Godhead. If you have to drive back to Godhead, then there is a direction. Don't go by this road, that road, that road. So you are the driver in this vehicle. So there is a purpose for this vehicle. There's a purpose for life. So in this same way, in the vehicle, just like you have to put petrol, you have to put oil, you have to put water, all these things. Some input you have to put for this body. And naturally for those inputs, the Lord in the body itself, there is a system of pleasure. In eating, there is pleasure. So that you eat. If God had not given eating pleasure, nobody will eat. If nobody will eat, body will not survive. So taste has a purpose. In the even material, it has a purpose so that you eat. Similarly, sleeping, you get relief. You get pleasure in sleeping. Therefore, that also is to be regulated. How much pleasure you take out of sleeping. So these are all the different eating, sleeping, mating, defending. All these things are in a regulated manner one has to do. Body is a vehicle to take us back to Godhead. You have to drive this vehicle in the road of the instructions of the spiritual master. So therefore, yesterday we also discussed that Prabhupada was saying that how if one executes the instruction of the spiritual master, it's very easy to go back to Godhead. So we all have to be very responsible. Individuals are also very responsible in regulating eating, sleeping, mating, defending. There are 4 demands of the mind and body. Eating is a daily requirement. Sleeping is a daily requirement. Fortunately, mating and this thing is not like it all depends on how you have trained your mind. The very fact that brahmacharya is possible, that means mating depends on your mind. Sleeping and eating, more physically dependent. But mating and defending is left to your mind. You want to follow brahmacharya, if you train your mind, then your system will not ask for mating. It all depends. One should not think that demand of mating is like demand of eating and sleeping. No. Like equivalent of brahmacharya is not there in eating in our spiritual life. Equivalent of brahmacharya is not there in sleeping. But when it comes to brahmacharya, you say, okay, you should go 100% brahmacharya. 100% no eating, 100% no sleeping is not advised. But 100%, why? Because it is a matter of the mind, not of the body. We should understand this. Brahmachari should understand this. From the mind, you create a bodily demand. But the root of the demand is the mind. 90% of the sexual requirement, sexual forces in the body are coming out of mental concoction. It's coming from the mind. So that is why very easy if one chants nicely, what happens? One becomes free from mind. One becomes free from mental speculation. Becomes very easy to follow brahmacharya. The forces don't attack. If you are chanting and hearing nicely, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's a very powerful food. Even for the brain, hearing Hare Krishna is a very powerful food for brahmacharya. Not that we do for that. We chant for mercy of the Lord. But this sound vibration is so powerful that it will keep your brain completely appeased. Peaceful it will be if you hear Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, all these things have to be individually handled by each sadhaka, because each sadhaka's anarthas are different from his past life. What are the anarthas? What are the vegas, forces of the mind and the body? According to that, you should keep the spirit in mind that my destination is Guru's instruction. How to, like here it said, our only concern should be how to execute the order of the spiritual master. Continuously try to stay on the track. Little it goes away, come back on the track. Stay on the road of the instruction of the spiritual master and we'll reach back to Godhead. So now Prabhupada is talking about how the same result that Dhruva Maharaj achieved, we are able to get. We are able to get because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's extraordinary mercy, where he has given all concessions in this age. The only austerity, he said, is to chant and hear the holy name. Sankirtana is the only austerity you do. Then, by my mercy, you will get purified. The same tapas that you execute, that Dhruva Maharaj executed, same phala, same result you will get simply by chanting and hearing the holy names. So important, such a big secret it is. Can you believe how much, what if, as Prabhupada is saying, further we'll see how much austere Dhruva Maharaj was. So it's a super discounted period. Who can give discount? Only owner can discount. Suppose he has a cloth shop, discount. Who can give discount? Owner can discount. Who is the owner of everything? Krishna. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Krishna. So discount de diya. Normally, if you have to purify, you have to do so much tapasya. Now I am given a discount. You chant my name. Nama Prabhu is all merciful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are able to sit here, speak, hear Bhagavatam, all due to the Hare Krishna sound that we are taking inside. Otherwise, impossible to have this kind of life. So the foundation of our whole spiritual life is chanting of the holy name. That's a discount that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, concession, all kinds of, we have been given all concession possible for this age. So at least we should remember that not to neglect the prescribed duties in devotional service. Very simple things we have been asked to do. We are not asked to stand on one leg. We are not asked to do extreme austerities. One may be surprised how these simple things can give one, make one go back to Vaikuntha. Cut through this material world and go back to Vaikuntha. Yes, it is possible by the mercy of the Lord Himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But minimum that has been asked, at least that we should follow. And therefore Prabhupada is saying, yes, you control your tongue, even if it is prasadam. Don't just for luxurious eating. You worship the deities. Deities should be offered wonderful footsteps. But the devotee should know that he is not the deity. He's a jiva. Krishna can eat anything, he can digest anything, he can everything. Because Krishna is everything. But we cannot do that. It will hamper our progress. It will disturb our senses. So, Prabhupada is saying that we do not even follow the liberal instruction of Lord Chaitanya. If you don't follow that, how can you expect results? discharge of devotion service itself requires certain level of purity. Then minimum instruction we have to follow. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. This is from yesterday's class. So you mentioned one term, spiritual pressure, where you said that you should not be under material pressure, you should be under spiritual pressure, whether I am advancing or not in spiritual life. So Prabhu, on another side, we also say that we should be patient in spiritual life.
We should
Patient.
patient.
Yes. Patience, utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya. So how to be understood these two terms, spiritual pressure and patience? That we are in spiritual pressure also, and we should be patient in spiritual
No,
life.
you see, spiritual pleasure is not, not a
Spiritual pressure.
pressure. So what's your question? I heard it as pleasure. I was trying to figure out.
So how do we under spiritual pressure and be patient in spiritual life also?
Ah. 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 Yeah. Spiritual pressure, yeah, I remember, yes. Spiritual pressure is pressure to control your mind, to chant nicely, to control, how much prasadam you eat. These are all spiritual pressures. You have to be patient. You have to patiently execute those pressures. Why patience is required? Because whenever we take any pressure, we want immediate result. Immediate result is not there, you don't take pressure. Rajoguna means, for instance, let us say I got some service pressure. I had to produce some result. That is very easy to mobilize, that pressure. But spiritual pressure is a long-term pressure. Also, to see the phala of that, it is not so explicitly coming like you got a result in the external preaching. Spiritual result is in terms of jnana, vairagya, bhakti. 3 indicators are there: your transcendental knowledge, your detachment from material world, and your attachment to devotion service. When these 3 things develop in our heart, we know that we are spiritually progressing. So it all depends on, we all also have to learn how to sense these things. That yes, what was I before? So many things I was attached to. Now I am not attached to. So there is a progress, there is result. So similarly, I have a very clear goal that I have nothing to do with this material world. I am an eternal soul. I am part and parcel of the eternal world, Krishna. I have nothing to do with this material world. That is the aspiration. How can I get detached like that? How can I get completely attached to Krishna? Like Prabhupada says, we are never separated from Krishna. Only in our consciousness we are separated. Because we are Amsha of Krishna. Eternally we are part and parcel of Krishna. So how to realize that? So because the goal, you can have patience when you have also a long-term goal. So that is the reason why we say that spiritual pressure you want to take, you have to have a long-term vision. Otherwise, we don't take pressure unless we see some result. So we need results, then we take pressure. One of the reasons why people don't take spiritual pressure is because they don't see any immediate result. So you have to train your mind to see what is my goal. As per bhakti, what is my goal? External services, I may do so much, I may produce so much results, I may do all those things. That is okay. I'm dovetailing, and it is to, you can say it is to keep away disturbing elements. But the positive thing is I had to dovetail, I had to engage my mind in chanting nicely, hearing nicely, becoming detached. This is the real progress. This is very important. Repeatedly I keep telling that Paramarthik is primary, Vyavaharik Paramarthik is secondary. But both are required because we are not in a position to do Paramarthik. Of course, in a pure devotee, there is no difference between Paramarthik and Paramarthik Vyavaharik. Prabhupada is preaching, Prabhupada is typing, it is all full Paramarthik. There is no dovetailing. He is acting completely from a 100% spiritual platform. But we are acting in a platform of bodily concept of life, so our Paramarthik Vyavaharik or the preaching activities are dovetailing activities. If you just only do that, you may feed only your anartha and you will not be able to develop your bhakti. So that balance is required. So that is the idea of saying that, if we do not take spiritual pressure means anxiety to chant offenselessly, because I want to progress. Man's mind is progressive. I want to progress. I want to improve my chanting. I want to improve following regulatory principles. I want to chase that. So there should be a struggle there, patiently, without giving up. I am not able to do it. I cannot do it. No. Patient. Go again, read, hear what I should do, what I missed out. And then patiently you have to be determined. Like Dhruva Maharaj was determined. We have to be determined at the Paramarthik progress. And then it takes satisfaction in that. The realization that you get takes satisfaction. Sometimes you have to sit and think, how after chanting Hare Krishna, I became detached from my family, I became detached, how I have joined. Even a bhakta has got transcendental realization. Otherwise, he cannot become a bhakta. The most difficult connection in the material world is family connection. To get detached from that is a very, very, very big milestone. Big milestone. So we had to, okay, little chanting has made me come here. If I chant nicely, if I follow all the sadhana nicely, reading Prabhupada's book, all these things, if I do, where I will reach. So primary should not become secondary. Then there's some priority problem with. He will not find spirit. Such a devotee will not get spiritual satisfaction, because he'll be getting kicked up and down according to the nature of the material world. Sometimes result will be there, sometimes result will not be there. It's all for preaching purposes, Krishna's mission only. For Krishna's mission, we have to work in a very regulated way. Without charging our battery, we cannot run the vehicle. So sadhana or paramarthik association with the Lord charges our entire system. So that, as we discussed yesterday, mystically, Lord's intelligence can merge into your intelligence, so that you do His will. By hearing, our seeing will become pure. When our seeing becomes pure, if you have seeing intelligence, then it is easy to take doing intelligence from Krishna. Otherwise, if doing intelligence Krishna gives also in your heart, you will be rejecting it. So that is why I said purity. Purity means purity in seeing intelligence. You see everything from the eyes of the Shastras. That is why every Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, we are changing our perception. We are changing how we see this world. We see this world from an absolute platform, the way Krishna sees this world. If Krishna would come here, and how would he see the world? He is also a person, we are also a person. How he sees the world, we should see. What is Bhagavad Gita? Krishna is standing and talking how he is seeing the world. So we should see the world the way Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita. That means we have to hear Bhagavad Gita. So our change also, perspective completely changes. What is action? What is fruitive activity? What is devotion service? What is surrender? These are all Krishna is speaking. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, my question is like we all come from different backgrounds. So they are like majorly we can categorize people in two parts, right? For example, someone is coming from a simple background. He's done just college and just joined the ashram. And someone might be going through different turns and turbulences and then joining the ashram, right? So in both the cases, my question is related to the yesterday's class, which is about how do we define the simplicity in our character, and
Simplicity
in our character, and is there some like how to put the efforts in cultivating that for the people who are complex in their nature already?
Last part.
How to cultivate that thing?
Complex. Okay. How complicated people can become simple?
Yes, sir.
All complications are created by the mind. Soul is not complicated. You are not complicated. Your mind has created the complications. And we are completely in the material world, we are trapped in the mind. Completely, a mind is our master. Mind is our master. Mind says yes, then the soul will say yes. Mind will say no, then soul will say no. Mind is the master. So therefore, very interesting. Prabhupada says, you should chant ignoring the mind. You should tell mind, I don't need you at all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Mind will come and tell this, that, all this. No, I don't need you at all. I am in direct touch with Krishna. I don't need a mind. At least while chanting, you don't need mind. So it is a fact. The holy name is so powerful. All complications are coming because of mental speculation. You don't have spiritual seeing intelligence. And the Hare Krishna, Nama Prabhu is the source of Satchit Ananda, reservoir of Satchit Ananda. Chit means seeing intelligence and knowing intelligence. So slowly your perspective of world will change. When it changes, you become very simple. One of the results of chanting Hare Krishna is the devotee becomes simple. It is one of the results. Completely simple. He lives every moment in association with the holy name. Surrendered means first level of simplicity. I don't think of my tomorrow. I don't think everything I depend upon the Lord. Simplicity. Simple ho gaya. If I had to carry everything, what I will do rest of my life, how many years I will live, let me make just like, karmis, the plan, what I should do. Everything should be planned. We don't plan like that. Why? We are given the planning to, not that there is no planning in your life. See, you don't plan, plus you should have faith that Krishna is planning. There is a plan. Krishna is planning. I am not planning. I'll plan for Krishna, Krishna will plan for me. This is bhakti. Not that I plan, I surrender to Krishna, I plan my life. Why I should plan my life? I should plan how to satisfy Guru and Krishna will plan my life. That is, it's a fact. Ye eta mam prapadyante tam sate bhajamiham. Our tendency is there. Because mind is like that. Suppose suddenly a problem comes. Whom do you consult first? Mind, yeah. Most of us go into the mind. Hey, what's the solution? What is the solution? Instead, mind should become servant. Any problem comes, first you should say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You're very hungry. You're seeking food. Your tongue is wanting food. Naturally, ultimately you have to give. But before that, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You want to sleep. Before that, have faith. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. He is the best sleep. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।